Zai Tharic was as stone, and like stone, he did not speak. He was silent, sworn only to exist in harmony with the mountains, his elven soul striving to become one with the elemental deity known as Avalanor. His sacrifice had proven fruitful. Years of solitude and silence, decades of roaming the barren lands of Shaiish would have driven a lesser spirit insane, but not Zai Tharic. As he walked, the dead earth quietened. It obeyed him. In the depths of Nagash's realm, he had found a fragment of Avalanor, and it had walked alongside him, guarding him, guiding him. Zai Tharic did not speak. He merely listened to the mountain. So it was when the Wardens and Dawn Riders from Haiish appeared, their weapons chipped, their forms racked by conflict, their voices loud and filled with warnings. Warnings from Teclis. Warnings that something was stirring under the nose of all the gods. Something that those same gods knew from a long time past. A whisper. A shard. A shard from the world that was. They needed to get into the mountains, to the caverns under the ancient city of Sakath. They would not anger Alariel's guardians by challenging them, but if they could discover the city another way, well and good. Zai Tharic listened, heard them, how they spoke of how they would need his power to shift the stones. He did not respond. He simply moved, and they followed him. Meanwhile, in the distance, the horizon grew crimson and filled with the meaty thud of ravaging war drums.
And this is 1000 points of Slaves to Darkness for today's battle. This is led by Chaos Lord and Carcadrak, which is Vord Maelon himself. He is the army general, at least for this turn, because I am using the Ravagers special rules, which means that this guy will be the general as well. Shouldn't come into effect really much. Ravagers, you're able to spend a command point to bring extra models in. I haven't got any extra models in my collection, and I'm not into proxying. I just don't really want to. Not into proxying to that degree, I suppose. So I'm just, if I don't have the models, I'm not going to do it. I'm just pretty simple like that. So Vord Maelon, a Chaos Lord and Carcadrak, he is the army general. He's got the command trait Eternal Vendetta, which gives him reroll wounds and reroll hits against order units. So against Lumineth, that is going to be quite useful. He has then got the artifact Mark of the High Favoured, which increases his aura of chaos bubble to 18 inches. And on that, he has taken the Mark of Slaanesh, which means that all units within 18 inches of him, their 6s will explode into extra hits, 6s to hit explode, and they are able to reroll runs and charges if they are within 12 inches of him as well. Hopefully I'll remember all that. Then we have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. He has got the command trait, because in Ravagers you can take up to 5 command traits. He's got the command trait Bolstered by Hate, which gives him +2 wounds. So he's got 7 wounds, and the spell he's taken is Whispers of Chaos. Not that he'll probably ever use it, he'll just probably use his signature spell, and because he's against Lumineth, it will just get dispelled very easily, no doubt. Battle line, I have 1 unit of 10 Chaos Warriors, equipped with rune shields and hand weapons. I have 1 unit of Chaos Knights, all equipped with lances. He's got a mace on the model. It's a lance, it just makes it easier. Plus the mace is just crap. I mean, D6 attacks. Let's face it, you're going to roll a 1. So they all have lances. He just looks cool, and it makes them easy to notice the unit champion. And then 2 Gore Beast Chariots, 2 separate units of Gore Beast Chariots. Everything has the Mark of Slaanesh. And yeah, that is 1000 points of Chaos. Slaves to Darkness. And over here we have 1000 points of Lumineth Realm Lords. The army general is going to be Zai Tharic. He is an Arleth Stone Mage. He has got the Enduring command trait to give him +3 wounds, and he has got the Hearthstone artifact, which gives him a 5-up shrug against wounds. So he's pretty tanky. He's got 8 wounds and a 5-up shrug to ignore those wounds. The spell he is taking from the Lore of the High Peaks is going to be Voice of the Mountains, which throws out a -2 bravery debuff to the enemy army, so that can be quite useful. He is accompanied, of course, by none other than Avalanor, Spirit of the Mountain, that has been found here in Haish and is basically his protector as he roams the wilderness alone until the Venari appeared. And with those we have got a unit of 10 Venari Orlan Wardens. We've got the Light of Eltharion in all his glory, and a unit of 5 Venari Dawn Riders. And that comes into 1000 points of Lumineth Realm Lords. Hello and welcome to this 1000 point battle report of Age of Sigmar. It is Lumineth versus the Slaves to Darkness. So today we have the forces of Vord Maelon. He is going to be leading his Slaves to Darkness army against Zai Tharic, the Arleth Stone Mage, who has come here to find out what is exactly in this mountain pass, which leads deep underground in the realm of Shaiish. There's an ancient statue of Sigmar here in the center, and I'm playing the match play battle report, Battle for the Pass. I think it's called Battle for the Pass, but essentially it's the battle report where there are 4 objectives, 1 in each zone, deployment zone, and then 1, 2 in the center of the board. If you control the one closest to your table edge, it's 1 point, 2 points for each one in the middle, and then 4 points if you control the opponent's objective. So both forces want to control this pass. The Chaos Slaves to Darkness no doubt want to hold it for their own nefarious purposes, while the noble Lumineth seek knowledge, seek what is forgotten within those ancient stone walls. So without any further ado, let's roll off for the first battle round. Blue dice for the Lumineth, of course, red dice for Chaos, and it is going to be a Lumineth. Turn 1. Start of the hero phase, and it is all about the magic. So this unit of Venari Dawn Riders are going to try and cast Protection of Haish on themselves. They are getting this on an 8. Which they do get, and the caster is too far away outside of 30 inches, so they are going to get Protection of Haish on themselves. The Arleth Stone Mage is going to try and cast Mystic Shield on Avalanor, the Stoneheart King. Needs a 6. And he does not get that. That does not go off. And this unit of Venari Sentinel, or Venari Warden, sorry, is going to try and cast Speed of Haish on themselves, doubling their movement, and they need a 5. And they are just going to get that on a 5. So, all in all, mildly successful hero phase. And at the end of the hero phase, this Avalanor, sorry, the Stoneheart King, is going to use his Elder Wisdom ability, and he is going to choose none other, of course, than Zai Tharic himself, the Stone Mage. And if he is within 6 inches of him at the end or the start of the next hero phase, then they are going to get a command point. Or B. Let me double check this. They can use a command ability without spending any command points. So that's pretty enough. Essentially a free command point. 1 command point in the bank. Hero phase complete. Let's see what the Lumineth will do in their movement phase. End of the Lumineth movement phase, and everything in their army has moved up to consolidate their position in the center of this battleground outside this ruined temple where this statue of Sigmar rests. The Venari Wardens have run up to claim this objective, and I should say that because I'm playing on a smaller table, because it's just me in my office and I'm playing solo, I do make it within 3 inches of the objective as opposed to the normal within 6. Just makes it a little bit more tactical. and makes a bit more sense in my head. That if you're playing a smaller game, it should be smaller objectives. Whatever. Light of Eltharion ran forward. He's now taking up position here. The Stoneheart King ran up. He was out of range for his Geomantic Blast, so he's just taking a dominating position in the center of the battle line. Zai Tharic, I will try and remember all these names. Stone Mage is taking up position behind him. And this unit has, of course, advanced right up from the corner, doing a run and getting 3 plus their 12, 15 inches and claiming this objective. No, they're not. They're just shy. So I just missed out on claiming that objective and too far away from any heroes to use their command ability to run. So the Lumineth are going to be getting 3 points in this first turn, and with no shooting, it is just going to go straight over to the Slaves to Darkness hero phase. Start of the hero phase, Vord himself is going to use his command ability, the Knights of Chaos, and put it quite appropriately on the Knights of Chaos, which means that until the start of his next hero phase, they can re-roll charge rolls and gain +1 to hit for their melee weapons. So that's pretty nifty, so that affects that unit. And then straight into the magic side of the hero phase, the Chaos Lord is going to attempt to cast Demonic Power, and is going to attempt to put that on the Chaos Warriors just in front of him, and that is cast on a 6. That goes off on a 7. The Lumineth will try to deny it. They have got numerous denies across the board. So let's say that it's these Dawn Riders are going to try and get rid of it. And they don't, they match it. So it's not called Beat That. It's not called Tie That, sorry. It's called Beat That. So that spell is going off. Those Chaos Warriors will be re-rolling field hits and field wounds. So let's see if that comes into effect. Going over now to Slaves to Darkness movement. End of the movement phase, and a very simple movement phase. The Lord on Carcadrak and the Chaos Knights moved up. Going to challenge this objective held by the Dawn Riders. Got the Chaos Warriors and the Sorcerer Lord behind them. Not in range for any melee yet, so that spell might go to waste, but at least it's off. You never know what will happen in turn 2. And the Gorebeast Chariots are lining up a charge into the Lumineth lines for future turns. So with the end of movement, with no shooting, straight into the charge phase. This unit of Knights are 7 inches away from the Dawn Riders. They're going to attempt to charge. Needing a 7, and they can re-roll this. They do fail it on a 5. Let's try for the 7. No, the Chaos Knights stumble and fall. They don't do it. I'm going to measure to see if Vord himself is within range for a charge. I think he is. I'm just going to measure up. Well, I'll roll first and see if it's enough. A 9? Let me just measure. And a 9 is just a hair's breadth short. Well, yeah, thick hairs, a horse's hair's breadth short to make that charge. So he fails as well, which means that the Chaos only score 1 point in the opening round of this battle report to dominate the entrance to this mountain pass. So let's roll off for turn 2. Let's see who's going to take priority. Blue dice Lumineth, red dice Chaos. It's going to be a Lumineth turn 2. Let's see what Teclis's host will do against this advancing Chaos Horde. So in the hero phase, the Lumineth now have 2 command points thanks to being turn 2, and they get to use a free command point thanks to the Elder Wisdom ability. Zai Tharic stayed within 6 inches of Avalanor, listening to the sage advice of this ancient mountain spirit, and is now more tactically astute in the ways of war. But let's do some magic first of all. These guys are going to empower their spears, and that goes off on a 9, so their spears are empowered. They're going to try and empower their spears.
And I think that goes off on a 5. It does not, it fails. It needed a 6 to go off. So that means that the only other spell remaining is going to be from Zai Tharic himself, and he is going to try and cast the spell that he knows from the Lore of High Peaks, Voice of the Mountains, which will reduce the bravery characteristic of all Slaves to Darkness models by 2 for the duration of this turn, and then next turn by 1 in the Slaves to Darkness turn, that is. So this is cast on a 6, and that goes off on an 11. The Sorcerer Lord might as well try and deny it, needing a 12, and fails on a very good attempt of a 9. So Voice of the Mountain is in effect. All the Chaos Warriors' bravery is reduced by 2. Let's see if that has an effect as we go into movement. End of the movement phase, and the Lumineth, although they have a chance for some glorious charges here, are tactical beings. They are infused with the wisdom of Teclis, and they know that it is wiser to hold objectives, to hold this battlefield, to win the mission, than to charge for death or glory. And they also trust in the might of Eltharian's spirit to do the damage for them. Light of Eltharion has moved up. Avalanor, has moved up and is throwing out his 12-inch debuff bubble to the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Knights. Zai Tharic, I will remember his name, is lingering behind, just keeping hold of the home objective. These Dawn Riders holding the objective, and because they didn't get their spell off, and because their sun metal weapons are not shining with the light of Haish, the Wardens have just taken up position and are holding this objective and are ready to receive a charge from this portion of the Chaos Forces. So let's move into some shooting. Let's start with a Geomantic Blast from Avalanor, and he is going to target this unit of Chaos Knights. He's got 1 attack and hits on a 3. And that is a miss. He does not hit. So let's move on to the Light of Eltharian's attacks. So he's going to send his Searing Lights into that Chaos Lord to try and weaken him first of all. So I roll a dice and let's see what happens. So that is a 2, which means that he's going to suffer D3 mortal wounds. He's going to suffer 1 mortal wound, and I believe... yes, he can negate that mortal wound on a 5-up thanks to his rune-etched plating, which he does, so he does not take any mortal wound. The light of Teclis shoots out from those swords, and that Chaos Lord Vord, he just laughs as they are absorbed by his hellish armour. So, with that done, we're going to go into the charge phase. There's not going to be a lot of charges happening. The Light of Eltharion will try and attempt to charge into these knights to mince them up. Let's see if he can do it. 7-inch charge here for the Light of Eltharion to get into these knights. Let's see what he gets. That is a 5, it's a fail. There is a command point. Let's spend it. That is a 10. He's in. So he is going to split his attacks. He decided to go into both the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Knights. And he's going to put his Selenari Blade into, of course, the Chaos Lord, nominating him as the target, giving him +1 damage. And then he's going to put all of his attacks from the Fang Sword of Eltharion into these Chaos Knights. And hopefully take some of them out. So, let's start first of all with the attacks into the Knights. I need another dice. 4 dice. And these hit on 2s. And that is 1 miss. He is then going to wound on 2s because he charged. He only wounds once. It is -3, however. So it is going to cut straight through their armor. So yes, that -3 does cut straight through their armor and does D3 damage. Just 1 damage done to these Chaos Knights. They have 3 wounds each. 1 of them is wounded. And now he's going to attack with his Kellanari Blade against the Chaos Lord. This got 2 attacks. These hit on 2s. He hits both times, and the 6 turns in to another hit. He's got a wound on 3s with this. So he wounds twice. Yeah, he wounds twice, although the Selenary Blade is only -1. So these are 4-up saves. Failed both. This is 2d3 plus 2 damage because this was the hero he chose. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 plus 2 is 5. The Chaos Lord on Karkadrak has taken 5 wounds. He's hurt, but he's not out yet. So now the Chaos Knights are piling into the Light of Eltharion. They've got 3 in combat. They are equipped with Cursed Lances, which would hit on 4s, but +1 to hit thanks to the Knights of Chaos ability. However, -1 to hit thanks to his Avalanor special ability. So we're back up to 4s to hit. However, with the Mark of Slaanesh, and because they are well within 18 inches of Vord, any 6s turn into 2 hits. So 6 attacks, 3 are in range, and not 1. What a poor showing. It is not over yet, however. Trampling Hooves, same thing, -1 +1, 4s to hit. And that's 1 6, which I believe turns into an additional hit. So we'll just take out these 2 misses, count that as a hit, and this is going to be 4s to wound. Horses always do better. Indeed they do. That is 4 wounds on the Light of Eltharion, and he is going to save these on his 3-up save. And fail 1, the horses take a wound off the spirit of the long dead elven hero. Well, that's karma for you, I suppose. Now we're going on to the main event. Vord himself will smack in against the Light of Eltharion. Vord Maelon is going to attack the Light of Eltharion. He has got the command trait Eternal Vendetta, which means that he rerolls wounds, just in general, that's his rule, but against order units, which the Light of Eltharion is, he also rerolls hits. He normally hits with his Hex Battle Axe on 3s, hitting on 4s thanks to Avalanor. So he's going to be hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s and 2s because the way that you apply modifiers. So yeah, let's roll it here. Hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s and 2s. Okay, so re-roll these 1s and 2s. They're both still misses, but these 2 6s, thanks to the Mark of Slaanesh, explode. So that is 4. He now wounds on 3s, re-rolling. That is 3 wounds. No rend, not that the Light of Eltharion cares about rend, and the Light of Eltharion will save this on 3s. Saves them all. Didn't matter a jot. 3 attacks now with his Demon-bound Blade, hitting on 4s, again re-rolling 1s and 2s, and re-rolling that 2, and that 3 is a miss, but the 6 turns it into a hit, and this is wounding on 3s, re-rolling. All 3 wound, no rend on this, 3-up saves. 1 goes through, it is D3 damage for 2, which the Light of Eltharion halves, so he takes a wound. Now, the Tearing Horns and Claws, there's no rerolls in this, and this is just 5s to hit now. 1 hit, wounding on a 3, that's a wound, saved on a 3. Not saved, it is normally 2 damage. Again, he halves it down to 1. 3 wounds on the Light of Eltharion, and then finally 2 attacks with the Battering Tail, hitting on 5s. 1 hit, wounding on 4s, no wounds, but that is still 2 wounds off the Light of Eltharion. Not a bad exchange against this holy ghost of the elven past. Not a great showing for the elves, not a great showing for the elves at all. The Light of Eltharion failing to do any damage there at all has severely hindered their plans, because now the Chaos Horde will come screaming down on top of them, largely, basically untouched, 1 wound caused. There's no battle shock, so the Voice of the Mountain ability
did not come into effect. Eltharion has let his kin down. Perhaps his spirit is tormented with visions of a world destroyed. But let's see what the Chaos can do in their turn 2. And it is the hero phase for the Slaves to Darkness in their second turn, and it is going to be a copy and paste job. He is going to use his command ability Knights of Chaos on the Knights of Chaos to give them +1 to hit. Reroll charges doesn't really come into effect, but the +1 to hit is going to negate Avalinor's ability, so that's kind of worthwhile. And then it's just magic. He is going to use his spell on these guys to give them going to use a spell on the Knights this time to give them rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound to try and get rid of the Light of Eltharion. That goes off on a 6, which just goes off on a 6. The Lumineth will try and dispel that, and they get it on an 8, so that spell fails. That's the end of the hero phase. Let's go on to some movement and charges for the Warriors of Chaos. And it's worth noting that at this point the Lumineth are holding this objective, and this objective. It did give them 5 points in their last turn, bringing them up to 8. Let's see if the Chaos Warriors can come back. End of the movement phase, really short movement phase. The Chariots have moved up outside of 3 inches of the Wardens. Avalinor standing, of course, very still, very imposing, so they're hoping to run in there, deal with those very quickly, and then perhaps sweep around for a flank. Staying in combat here, of course, and the Chaos Warriors just moved up to consolidate their position on that objective and to block any potential threat from the Dawn Riders coming in from behind. So, charges. This Gorbeast Chariot, first of all, needs a 3. He's in on a 10, and the other Gorbeast Chariot also needs a 3. He's in on a 4. So both Gorbeast Chariots are going to charge in. No other charges, so let's move on after we've moved some models. That's how the charges ended up. Just managed to squeeze both of those chariots there into the Lumineth. And then on 2 pluses, thanks to their ferocious charge ability, they are going to do D3 mortal wounds each, so 2 pluses. Of course, there's a 1, so just D3 mortal wounds. For 1 mortal wound, that is going to be a Venari Dawn Rider gone. So 1 killed. And now let's move on to the start of the combat phase. They're going to spend their Aether Quartz reserve to give them +1 to their save. And yeah. Also at the start of the combat phase, the High Warden in that unit is going to throw his flask on a 2+. He gets it. D3 mortal wounds on, let's say, the chariot closest to the statue for 1 mortal wound. 1 mortal wound apiece at the start of the charge phase. They have used their Aether Quartz ability to get +1 to their save. Let's move on to some attacks. We'll attack with the wounded chariot first. So it is equipped with a Lashing Whip, a Chaos Great Blade, and Crushing Fist. So the Lashing Whip, first of all, is going to hit on a 5s now, thanks to the -1 debuff, so it misses. The Chaos Great Blade is going to hit on 4s, thanks to the debuff, and it hits once. It is going to wound on a 3+, and that is a fail. The Crushing Fist then, and because this chariot charged on a 10, it's going to get +1 to hit, but then -1, so it's still going to hit on 3s. 3 attacks with this. And it messes with everything. My goodness, that chariot completely whiffed. And now it's over to the Lumineth, who get to choose 2 units. And there's only 2 units to attack, so they're going to attack with the Wardens first of all. And then they're going to attack with the Light of Eltharion. Let's see what happens. So the Venari Wardens are going to attack first. They've done some piling in just to get the Champion's Blade within range. So it's going to attack with it first. It hits on 3s. 2 hits. It's going to wound on 4s. And there's 1 wound. It's -1 rend, so a 5-up save, which the chariot makes. No damage from the blade. But now let's count up some dice and attack with the pikes in against the chariots. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going against this chariot, and then we'll do 3 spears against that chariot there. So 10 attacks first of all against this chariot. 6s to hit are mortal wound. So no mortal wounds, but not a bad spread of hits. And then because the Chaos Chariot's charged, they are +1 to wound and +1 rend. So 3s to wound is 3 wounds, -1 rend is a 5-up save. The Chariot is going to take 2 wounds. 2 wounds on that Chaos Chariot. Now we've got 6 attacks from the remaining 3 coming in against this Chariot. Same thing again, 3s to hit. 6s are mortal wounds, no mortal wounds, 3 hits, and then 3s to wound, and that is 3 wounds as well going through, and these are going to be saved on 5-ups thanks to that -1 rend. 2 saved, 1 more damage, so each chariot that comes charging in takes 2 wounds. Light of Eltharion next, and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. He's going to try and take out the general. All of his attacks going against the Chaos Lord. Let's roll this on with the Fang Sword of Eltharion. First of all, 4 attacks hitting on 2s, and that is 4 hits. Looking pretty good so far. He's going to wound on 3s this time, however. And he only wounds once. AP -3, which means that is a 6-up save. No, so it is going to go through. It's going to do D3 damage for 1 damage. My goodness, this Chaos Lord. Video glitched out there, I do apologize. This Chaos Lord only takes 1 wound so far from the Light of Eltharion. And then he's got 2 attacks with his Kalanari Blade. They are hitting on 2s. Both hit. He's going to wound on 3s. Both wound, and 6s to wound do something, I think. No, that is only if he made a charge move with the Fang Sword. There's a lot of rules for the Light of Eltharion. 2 wounds, AP is -1. This is going to be saved on 4s. Saves 1, D3 more damage, +1 because he's a hero. For 2 more damage, he is going down by 3 wounds. Quick correction, coupled with the 5 wounds that he has already taken, he's down to 1 wound left. But now the Light of Eltharion must face the might of these Chaos Warriors, so let's attack with the Chaos Lord on Carcadrak. First of all, Vord himself. 5 attacks, hitting on 4s thanks to the debuff, but re-rolling 1s and 2s thanks to his ability against order units. So there's a 2, which becomes 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. And re-rolling wound rolls, because that's his ability. That's 3 wounds. 3-up saves. Failing 2, taking 2 more damage. 5 wounds dealt to the Light of Eltharion. He's almost gone. 3 attacks with his Demon Blade hitting on 4s. Re-rolling 1s and 2s. Of course, there's a 3. 3s to wound. Re-rolling. 2 wounds. Saved on 3s. 1 goes through. It's D3 damage. For 2 becomes 1. That is 6 wounds on the Light of Eltharion. He's only got 1 wound left. 3 attacks with the Tearing Horns, hitting on 5s. Nothing. Or 4s, it is hitting on 4s with +1 to hit. No. Hang on. Yeah, it is 5s. I'm getting confused. There's too many rules. Yeah. Hitting on 5s misses. And then hitting on 5s with the Battering Tail. 1 hit. Wounds on a 4. That is a wound. Can this do it? Needs a 3-up save. Saved just. So it's up to the knights. I'm going to try in some piling in shenanigans just to get another one in. Managed to get the champion in. He looks as if he's armed with the mace. He's not armed with the mace. I just armed them all with lances because that's a lot easier. Plus the mace is a bit crap, but it looks cool on the model. So forgive that proxy, please, if that bothers you. Yeah. 9 attacks. -1, +1 thanks to the Knights of Chaos rule. These are hitting on 4s. No rerolls, but that 6 does turn into an extra hit. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds. The Light of Eltharion needs to make all of these saves or he is dead. And he makes them all. He's still alive. 1 wound left. Let's move over here to the Final Chariot. Final Chariot has got 2 attacks with its lashing whip hitting on 5s. 1 hit. Wounding on 4s. That's a wound. It is no minus to the save. And they use their Aether Quartz to get +1 save, so 3 up. Saved. Then it is going to have 2 attacks with the Chaos Great Blade hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounding on 3s. That's a wound. AP -1. A 4-up save. No, and that is 2 damage. So 2 more wardens are going to go. 2 more wardens gone, making 3 in total. Then they've got 3 attacks with the Crushing Fists hitting on 4s. 2 hits. No 6s at all for the exploding dice. And then wounding on 3s. 1 wound. No AP. 3-up save. Failed. Another 2 damage. 5 of the Dawnright Venari Wardens are gone. So at the end of turn 2 for the Slaves to Darkness, they have taken a chunk out of the Wardens, but Zai Tharic is within 12 inches. He's going to use the free command ability he gets from listening to Avalanor, and they are going to pass their leadership, which means that the Dawnrider, the Lumineth, hold on to this objective. They still have this objective. They still have this objective. So the Chaos Warriors again are only getting 1 point. Slaves to Darkness only getting 1 point. The Light of Eltharion holds on. He holds on with 1 wound left. So let's see who gets priority. Turn 3. Blue dice Lumineth, red dice Slaves to Darkness. It's a double turn for the Slaves to Darkness. Let's see what they can do. Hero phase is rinse and repeat. So, Knights of Chaos on this unit of Chaos Knights. +1 to hit, trying to negate that -1 bubble from Avalanor. It's very powerful. +1 to hit, rerolling charges, but they need to take out the Light of Eltharion. So this guy is going to try and send an Arcane Bolt flying over. It's cast on a 5. Gets it on a 5. Lumineth have got 1 chance to dispel this. They probably will. Let's see. Yep. Dispelled on a 6. No good. The Light of Eltharion holds on. Let's move into their movement phase. Let's just see what happens. Okay, in the movement phase 10, it's hit a 3 Light of Eltharion. This unit of Chaos Warriors have moved up through the pass. They're going to try and attempt to charge against the Dawn Riders. Hopefully if they get big enough they can swoop in there, perhaps take some of them out and claim that objective. At least they will get some more points. Hopefully these Chaos Charge will be able to do a little bit more damage this turn, and hopefully the Light of Eltharion disappears. So let's move on to the charges. So these gentlemen actually only need a 6 to get within half an inch, but let's hope they get a big roll. Let's see what happens. Failed. No command points. Oh dear, this is not the game for the Slaves of Darkness. The forces of the Lumineth seem to be triumphing thus far in terms of points. Let's move on to the combat phase. Lord Onkarkatrak. hitting the Light of Eltharion. This is a vendetta match now. He's going to attack with his Hex Battle Axe. 5 attacks. They hit on 4s. And he hits every single time and gets 2 extra hits. 7 attacks. Wounding on 3s. He gets to reroll wounds because of his command ability. He gets 5 wounds. The Light of Eltharion, 5 saves. Let's see, can the Hex Battle Axe do it? And it just does it. The Light of Eltharion goes. Whew. And because he killed someone with his Hex Battle Axe, he heals D3 wounds. He heals 2, which is good. It puts him back up to 3, which means he's not as dead as he once was. Wow, that was that was just a long slog. But the Light of Eltharion, a valuable asset to Lumineth, is now gone. We'll put him up on the shelf. So the Light of Eltharion is now gone. Let's move on to the Lumineth attacking over here. See what they can do. Okay, 8 attacks with their spears, hitting on 3s. 6s do mortal wounds, 2 mortal wounds. Oh, wait. Okay, edit that last bit out. 2 attacks going against this chariot, 2 attacks going against this chariot, or 2 models, I should say, 4 attacks each. So these 2 going against this chariot, do it first, hitting on 3s. 6s do mortal wounds. Nope, 1 hit. Wounding on a 4 now because the unit hasn't charged. No wounds, they whiff. 4 attacks into this chariot. 2 hits. No wounds either, no good. And now the Champion's Blade, 3s to hit. 2 hits. 4s to wound. 1 wound, rend -1, a 5-up save. Nope, so that chariot is going to take 1 more point of damage to 4. Now the Chaos have got free reign to attack, so yeah, I'll just double up with these chariots. Both chariots hitting these wardens. 4 attacks with the lashing whips, hitting on 5s. No good. Oh. Let's see, 4 attacks with the Great Blades, hitting on 4s. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound, -1 rend, 5-up save now. Failed, 2 damage. That's 2 more gone. Take this guy. And take this guy. And then because all the attacks happen simultaneously, it doesn't matter if they're out of range. 6 attacks with the Crushing Blades, Crushing Fists. Hitting this time on 4s because of the -1 debuff. So that's 3 hits. +2, Mark of Slaanesh within 18 inches. Wounding on 3s. And that is 3 wounds. The rend on this is -1, I believe. No, it doesn't have any rend, I beg your pardon. But saved on 4s. Feeling 1, 2 more damage. Only the Warden survives. And with that, the Chaos Chariots taking out a large chunk of that unit. They now hold that objective. However, Zai Tharic is shouting, hold, hold, hold the mountain pass. He's putting it on this guy. They are holding it for another turn. But that is 3 points now for the Chaos Warriors, taking them up to 4. The Lumineth still have 8. So let's see what the Lumineth do in their turn 3. And I think it's time that Avalanor steps out from behind the statue of Sigmar and shows them what the might of the mountain can do. In the hero phase, this unit is going to attempt to cast Protection of Haish on themselves. This goes off on an 8. No, they do not get that. And then he is going to try and Mystic Shield Avalanor, which he gets on a 7. The Chaos Sorcerer will try and deny. and he does not, so he is mystically shielded. They can't cast any more spells. He is going to use his ability to give him a free command point if he stays within 6 inches. So let's move on to some movement and see what the Lumineth do. So it is a very, very cramped battlefield here tonight, and I'm going to seriously reconsider how I pack my terrain and film things, because this is just awkward. But into the shooting phase for the Lumineth. This guy has got a Geomantic Blast, and he's going to attack the Chaos Lord, who's only got 3 wounds left. Try and kill him. 1 attack hits on a 3. That's a hit. Hit on a 4. Wounds on a 2. He doesn't wound! Again, he slams his feet down in anger, and the mountain does not answer his call. Perhaps that is why the Lumineth are here. Perhaps this mountain is tinted with chaos and does not answer the Haitian spirit. Oh well. Let's move on to some charges. Avalanor is going to go first. He's 3 inches away. He gets in on a 7. So he is going to jump to here. And then these Dawn Riders are going to charge. And just get it on a 3. Yep, they were 3 and a bit away, so they're going to charge in as well. So spending a command point on all the assault on Avalanor, the Stoneheart King, to give him rerolling ones to hit. He's going to put all of his Fire Steel hammers into the Chaos Knights, and he's also going to put his Cloven Hooves into the Chaos Warriors. So let's go first of all for 6 attacks with the Fire Steel Hammer, and 6s to hit are a mortal wound in addition. So that is 2 mortal wounds and 1 miss. So those 2 mortal wounds are going to pick off this guy. Oh well, he gets to save them on 5. We'll do that in a second. So there's 2 saves in this guy. I'm losing a lot of dice tonight. So 2 saves from him to be taken on 5. So 5 hits so far. 3s to wound. That is 3 wounds. It is rend -1, which takes their 4-up save to a 5-up save. But the key thing about this attack, 5 damage each. Saves 2 of them. So 5 normal damage is going through. Let's try and save these mortal wounds first, thanks to their Chaos Rune Shields on 5s. No. So that is 7 damage in total, which means that 1-on-1 wound is dead. 6 more damage. It's going to kill off these 2. Took the unit champion, don't really mind. The Dawn Riders are now going to pile in 3 inches. So he'll go to there. And he'll get into, and then these guys will just shimmy up the back. Just out of range with their lances. And then they are going to attack. Is it out of range? Oh yeah, well out of range. So the 2 guys at the front are going to attack. The Warden is going to use his, or Steedmaster, sorry, is going to use his Sun Metal Lance. And because they are attacking models that have 3 wounds. So because the Chaos Knights are bulky and strong, Deathly Furrow's ability does not work. So this is 2 attacks with the Sun Metal Lances. They are hitting on 3s. 1 miss. They are going to wound on 3s because they charged, and the rend is going to be -1. So that is a wound. Rend -1, 5-up save. Nope, 1 damage on that Chaos Knight. Now the horses got 4 attacks with their dashing hooves, hitting on 4s. Just 1 hit. Wounding on a 4. That's a wound and a 4-up save. That's a save. They charge in and only do 1 damage. Okay. 2 units activated. Let's activate this chariot over here. So this Gore Beast chariot is attacking the last remaining Lumineth. He's got 2 attacks with his lashing tails, or lashing whip. 1 hit, still under the -1 bubble. He is going to wound on a 4 with that Lashing Whip. He wounds. This is a 4-up save. And the Lashing Whip was enough to finish off that last Lumineth, which means they're definitely controlling that objective. In their haste, in their chance for glory, Dawn Riders have actually brought Vord into combat. He's within 3 inches, so he's going to pile in, and he is going to make his attacks against these Dawn Riders. He's got 5 attacks with his Hex Battle Axe. 5 attacks with his Hex Battle Axe. He is going to hit on 3s. And those lovely 3 6s become 3 extra hits. And he's actually hitting on 4s because I forgot -1 to hit. So that is out of 5 attacks, 7 hits. Not bad. Take that for $1. He's going to wound with these on 3s. That is going to be 5 wounds. No rend, so these are saved on 4s. Look at that. That is 8 damage. One of the Dawn Riders is left alive. Can he kill them with his other attacks? Only one of those Venari Dawn Riders left. 3 attacks with his Demon Bone Blade, and thank goodness he gets to reroll. These are hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. Reroll into wound. That's a wound. I forgot to reroll to wound with the other attacks. Too much. Saved on a 5. That's saved. Okay, so now we're back to normal. 3 attacks with the Tearing Horns hitting on 4 5s. -1 to hit. No rerolls for this because this is mount. 3s to wound. That's a wound. It is -1 rend. That is a failed save, and it is 2 damage. That is the end of that unit of Venari Dawn Riders. He got there in the end, and because he killed something with his Hex Battle Axe, he gets D3 wounds back. He gets 2 more back. He's back up to 5. Chaos Warriors are piling in to attack Avalanor. They have got 6 attacks. The champion is behind. They can only fight in 1 rank, I believe. Yeah, because their bases are just slightly bigger. Yeah, okay. 6 attacks, hitting on 4s because of the -1 to hit, and that's crap. 6 to hit though does generate an additional hit thanks to the Marcus of the Nash. They're going to be wounding on 3s with this. It's not their game. Okay, that was the end of the Lumineth turn. Zai Tharic and Avalanor left. But they are in a strong position. They are getting 2 points for this objective. 1 point for that objective, taking them up to 11 points. Going into turn 4, who's going to get priority? Blue dice Lumineth, red dice Chaos. Chaos again. Let's see if they can do some damage. Let's see if they can actually hurt the spirit of the mountain. Start of turn 4, and this time Vord is going to use his Knights of Chaos ability on this chariot that's wounded on 4 wounds, giving it reroll charges and +1 to hit, which is going to be useful considering the -1 debuff that's coming out of Avalanor. He is actually also in combat with Avalanor, so he can't move. Not that that matters yet because it's still the hero phase, and this guy is going to try and cast his signature spell on this unit to give them reroll hits and wounds on a 6. He gets it on a 10. Zai Tharic will try and deny it, and he doesn't. They get the spell. They are rerolling all hits and all wounds this turn, which could be effective. Let's move into some movement, see what happens. Okay, it's the end of the movement phase for the Warriors of Chaos, the Slaves of Darkness. He's in combat, he can't move. They're in combat, they can't move. Could have retreated, but no, I have a cunning plan. Because the Chaos Knights, sorry, coherency? Chaos Knights retreated from here, they weren't in combat. they have run back to claim this objective. This guy got a mighty 5-inch run, ran up here, taking this objective. And the chariots are poised for a charge, and if they can get in, they will take this objective and hopefully be able to neutralize Zai Tharic. But we still have to deal with this guy. Let's just move into charges. We've got no shooting, 3 inches, 3 inches. Let's do this one first. Gets a 4, just enough to go straight. This one gets a 7, will maneuver itself just like that. And then on 2 pluses, we're doing D3 mortal wounds, 2d3 mortal wounds. It'd be nice to see that again. Almost 4 mortal wounds, however, thanks to his command ability, which is not enduring, or the Heartstone artifact that he has. He gets to ignore these on 5-ups, and he ignores 3 of them. He takes 1 wound thanks to his command trait enduring. He's got 3 extra wounds, so he is now down to 7 wounds. But let's move on to some combat. This Lord on Carcatrak will attack first. He'll pile in, which now means that he's contesting that objective. Neither of them are going to hold it if he survives. It all comes down to if he survives, which hopefully he should. Let's do some attacks. 5 attacks with his Hexed Battle Axe. Hitting on 3s. Hitting on 4s. -1 to hit. Rerolling all hits except for 1s and 2s. So 6ers explode, thanks to Marcus Lanesh. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling. All wound. No rend on that. Avalanor, the Stoneheart King, has got a 3-up save, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, Avalanor has a 3-up save. And he passes them all. Okay, 3 attacks with his Demon-Bound Blade. That is 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound. He's not in mountain stance yet. That has to be declared in the hero phase. 4-up save. That passes. Oh, tearing horns and claws. Hitting on 5s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. -1 rend. Failed. D3, 2 damage. 2 damage on the heart of the mountain. Now he's angry. And then the battering tail, 2 attacks sitting on 5s. Nope, nothing. Okay, now he's angry. He's gonna smack back. Let's attack the Chaos Lord on Carcatrak. He has got 7 attacks because all but immovable gives him +1 attack. He's going to put these 7 into the Lord, the Cloven Hooves into the Chaos Warriors. He's going to wound, or hit first of all, on 3s. And that could have been slightly better. But 1 mortal wound, so I'll put a marker there for that. It's going to wound on 3s. Failing that. This is only rend -1. So this is saved on 4-ups. And he saves them all. He tanks it. Taking 1 mortal wound, which he ignored on a 5. And he ignores the mortal wound. He tanks it. Go him. And let's attack with this guy because the Lumineth get to choose 2 units. Okay, so he's going to direct all of his attacks against the chariot that has 4 wounds on it. He gets D3 attacks with his staff. He's got 3. He's going to hit on 3s. And he misses. He's going to wound on 3s. And wound once. It is rend -1. So that is not a save. And D3 damage for 2. Taking that chariot to 6 wounds. Okay, per showing. Oh, Cloven Hooves. I forgot my Cloven Hooves. Hang on, everyone. Cloven Hooves against... A little bit out of sequence, I do apologise. 3 attacks with Cloven Hooves against the Chaos Warriors. 3 attacks, 3's to hit, 1 hit, 3's to wound, that's a wound, and saved on a 5 up. That's a save. That's what you get for forgetting Avalanor. That's what you get. 2 wounds caused, no wounds caused. Let's move on to some chariot attacks. Gonna do them all together. No, I have to do them separately. This chariot has got +1 to hit. And is it? Yeah, it's definitely still within 12-inch range. So +1 -1. So +1 -1 cancels itself out. 2 attacks with the lashing whip, hitting on 4s. No good. 2 attacks with the great blade, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. And are they within 18 of? Yes, they are. They are going to get an additional attack with the great blade because of that. It is going to wound on 3s. That is 2 wounds. Rend -1, which is a 6-up save now for him. He passes 1, and he can ignore that 2 damage on 5s. So he ignores 1, he's taken 2. He is now down to 6 wounds remaining. Then 3 attacks with the crushing fists, getting no extra +1 to hit because the charge move was not innate. 3's to hit, 2 hits, 3's to wound, 2 wounds, no rend on this, 5-up save, saved 1, 2 damage again, both going through. He's down to 4 wounds remaining. Gonna attack with this chariot next, no +1 to hit, 2s, not 2s, sorry, 5's to hit with the lash. Both hit and get an additional hit. 4's to wound. 1 wound. Saved on a 5. Yes. 2 attacks with the great blade. 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. Nope. And 3 attacks with the fists on 4s. 3 more hits. That's pretty cool. No, wait. They don't get that because it's a mount. And then 3's to wound, 2 wounds, saved on 5s, 1 saved, and then 2 damage on 5s. Nope, 2 wounds left. My goodness me. Over here, Chaos Warriors piling in. Still just 6 attacks. Hitting on 4s because of the debuff, but that is 3 extra hits thanks to the Aura of Slanesh. Wounding on 3s against Avalanor. That is 6 wounds against Avalanor, who saves this on 3s. No, he's taken 4 on top of the 2 that he's already taken. He's taken 6 damage. So, 6 damage done to Avalanor. This objective is now contested. This objective is now contested. They hold this one. They hold this one. So in turn 4, there is going to be 3 more points for the Slaves of Darkness, taking them up to 7. Lumineth have an 11. Let's see what the Lumineth can do in their turn 4. Lumineth Hero Phase. This guy is going to attempt to smite this chariot and hopefully take it out. Because then he'll be in control of that objective and he just needs to survive. Hitting smite goes off on a not smite, arcane bolt goes off on a 10. He's going to do 1 mortal wound. It wasn't enough, but Chaos Usher will try and deny, and does not deny. So that chariot takes 1 mortal wound, which takes it up to 7. It has got 1 wound left. Shooting phase, Geomantic Blast into the Chaos Lord. hits. Wounds. Rend is -2. -2. His 3-up save goes to 5-up. Nope. D6 damage. 1. Down to 4. Okay, shooting phase done. Hero phase done. Let's clobber. 7 attacks. He has declared his stone stance, so he is ignoring rend of -1. 7 attacks with his hammers, all going into the carcass rack. Cloven hooves again going into the unit. 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is pretty good. 1 mortal wound. Put a marker there for that. Wounding on 3s. That is 4 wounds. Rend -1. Saved on 4-ups. 2 are going through. That's enough. 10 damage. He's dead. Vord is smitten by those chaos, by this spirit of the mountain. Now, Chaos Warriors are going, or Cloven Hooves into the Chaos Warriors. 1 hit. No wounds. No good. Chaos Warriors are okay. Now the Lumineth get to choose 2. So this guy hitting D3 attacks, 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Cool. Wounding on 3s. This is against the Wounded Chariot. 1 wound. Rend is -1. Saved on a 5. Nope. D3 damage, doesn't matter. Bye bye Chariot. The Lumineth get to hold on to this objective for 1 more turn. Now, able to do some pile-ins with these Chaos Warriors. Let's move this guy down so these guys can get in. And this guy, and that guy can move down to there. And that guy can move in. And then just shuffling down, shuffling over. Okay, so this time, champion's still back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks. 10 dice. Yes. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. Ignoring rend doesn't matter. Saved. Ouch. Chariot. Lashing whips. 5s. Misses. Chaos Great Blade. 4s. 1 hit. Wounding on 3s. That's a wound. 6-up save. Nope. 5-up blocks. Nope. He's dead. Very interesting turn of events there. The Chaos Warriors are still contesting this objective. The Lumineth don't hold this. No points here. It's 11 points to 8. Chaos Warriors are in a prime position to win this battle on points. They have lost their leader, but so too have the Lumineth. Let's see who gets priority. Blue dice Lumineth, red dice Chaos. It's the Chaos again. I think they've got it. Turn 5 for the Chaos. Hero phase, only thing to do is to cast reroll hits and reroll wounds on this unit on a 6. Go home! It's just been one of these games. Gosh, I probably have gotten so many rules wrong as well tonight. It's just been, yeah, I'm really enjoying this game, but it's just been one of these nights. Yeah, okay. Movement phase. This guy's going to move here. Take that objective. He's going to move there. Take that objective. They're going to stay here. They're going to stay in combat. No, they're going to run. Oh, they can't because they have to stay within 3 and their objective is within 3. Doesn't matter. Okay, so they're going to stay in combat. Into the combat phase, they get to do some piling in. So they can move 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Gets, say he moves down, gets him in. So now they've got 7 in, which is 14 attacks. 14. Hitting on 4s. And he is bracketed now because the Stone Mage is gone. Hitting on 4s. Okay. Wounding on 3s. That is 4 wounds. Going to be saved on 3s. 2 are going through. 8 damage now on Avalanor, who's going to smack back. Okay, Avalanor is striking back. He still has 7 attacks with his big hammer. It doesn't do as much damage now, but it still could be pretty sore, and it still hits on 3s. And 2 6s are 2 mortal wounds, so I'll put a 2 just to remember that. And that is going to be 6 hits, wounding on 3s. And that is going to be 5 wounds. Rend -1, saved on 5s. 1 is saved, so that is going to be now 12 damage going through, because they are now 3 each. So 12 damage is going to kill 6. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 2 mortal wounds are shrugged on 5s. Nope, so that kills another. 3 left. Battle shock could be an issue. No heroes nearby to make them immune. They've lost 7. That's an 8. Is their leadership an 8? It's a 7. They lose 1 more. I'll take this guy actually. But that means that they still have 2 units. They outnumber him. They get that objective. 4, 2, 2, and 1 is 9 points. Taking the Slaves to Darkness up to 17 points in total. Which means there's no way that Avalanor can come back from this. He's trapped in combat. He can only shoot. He can only attack them. He'll probably kill them. He'll claim that objective. The Lumineth will go up to 13 points. But that's it. It's turn 5. And the Chaos Forces hold this entrance. Vord drags himself and his Carcadrak back to his feet and watches as this Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who's now going to get a name, begins to desecrate this statue of Sigmar. His warriors rally around him. They are beaten, they are bloody, but they will get reinforcements because he has succeeded in his mission. The Chaos Gods have smiled on him. Slanesh favours his actions, and what lies within this mountain will be his, one way or another. Is it demonhood? Is it an artifact of immense power? He does not know. All that he knows is that the Lord of Excess, the Lord of the perfect killing stroke, which has driven Vord to be the warrior that he is, could await within this ancient mountain. Meanwhile, Avalanor gathers the body of Zai Tharic, carries him off into the Shaishian wilderness to recover, to recuperate, and to muse, to think, to meditate on why they failed. What could this mean? Is the artifact supposed to be found and brought to the fore before they defeat it? And why does this mysterious thing hold significance to Teclis? Why has Teclis wished the Darkling Covens to be halted in their attempts to uncover the artifact? There is more than one way to skin a Carcadrak. There is more than one way to find out what this whisper from the world that was is. This is a longer route, but it is a route nonetheless that leads underneath the ancient city of Sikarth. But will Vord get there first? Will he beat Karina? Find out in the next installment of The Shard of the World That Was.
Smoke filled the air. Blood mingled with it. The battle had been long and close. Elves lay dead in their dozens. Only the mountain remained. Only Avalenor endured. But even he was not enough. Zai Tharic, his body smashed and beaten, lifted his head. The children of Archaon were already in the mountain, already despoiling what they had come to ruin. The earth moved, and Zai Tharic looked up at the towering mountain effigy before him. His lips wavered. He parted them, wanting to cry out in agony, in remorse, wanting to beg forgiveness for his weakness, for his failure, wanting to break his vow of silence. Avalenor quietened him with just a look. Now was not the time to speak. Now was the time for reflection. The mountain was scarred, but it would not yet break.